Hi, welcome back to Centre Christi La Luce and Live and Breathe Horses. So today we're going to start a little mini-series about going with the horse, getting together with your horse, being in harmony, being able to move with your horse. We're talking about riding here. Of course, it's also relevant on the ground, but it's mainly, most people move all right on the ground. So it's mainly just about some hints and things that I find useful for getting on the horse. And there's one main thing which I think a lot of people forget about. For me, it's the most important thing. In fact, for me, it's the golden key. And I would say this is the golden key. And the breath. The breath is what turns the key. But we thought maybe for a name that was a bit out there. I quite liked the golden key, so we decided just to go with the scientific secret of being able to move with your horse, because of course it is a scientific medical thing, and I found this out from actually working with the horse. So in my classical training they focus really, one of the top focuses is on the jaw, the relaxation of the jaw and the tongue of the horse. As they say, the lightness can never be true, without that relaxation. So you can do direct flexions with your horse dismounted, which is helpful for some horses. Some horses don't need that. It can be helpful. We might do one on that as we go along, but enough said for the point of this. And the other thing is gymnastic exercises, especially the mobilization of the hindquarters. So from the ground, when you mobilize the hindquarters, also works from in the saddle, but just to put the point that you can see what's going on more. So you mobilize the hindquarters, and when that crossing of the back legs, the hip, the pelvis move correctly, it has an effect that it mobilizes the jaw. The jaw releases as the hindquarters release. So, over time I thought about this, and I thought, I wonder if it's the same in people. I had a student who was a violin player, and she was very tight here and very tight in her hips. So I did a bit of research, asked a few knowledgeable medical people who I know, and it turns out that yes, it's absolutely correct. So it's the link between the cranial base and the pelvic base. So they're absolutely linked together. So this is the scientific secret. If you relax your jaw, mobilize your jaw, release, let go, then your hips can move. So very often we clench. You see riders a lot, being tight and clenched, trying too hard, pushing, and then the horse is the same. So relaxing our jaw, it has many effects. It means we can move with the horse. That means we can also get an independent seat and be stable with our arms and hands. And it also means we allow our horse to have a soft jaw. So I would like just to have a little look at that and just try that together. So if you would try it with me, and we're not going to be precious about making silly faces. So I think first, to relax the jaw, we need to stretch it. So we're just going to really do big, huge stretches of the jaw, really eyes open or eyes shut. You can do that like you're yawning, really have a good stretch of the jaw. And then we're going to tighten the jaw up, really clench your jaw. So this is where we hold on to all the anger, frustration, everything gets tight, and we clench our jaw. So when you clench your jaw, just feel a moment what happens all the way down your back. In fact, through your whole body, You tighten your jaw, everything tightens up. So on the other side of that, as you loosen your jaw, everything loosens up. And it works the same in the horse. Of course, when his jaw's tight, his neck's tight, his back's tight, and then we're going to sit on his back and we're going to bounce around. So us being able to relax our jaw, and the horse relaxes his jaw, because moving with the horse, of course, if the horse is tight, it's very difficult to follow the movement, and then we get hard, and then the horse gets harder, and then it's just a downward spiral. It just gets more difficult. So that's good just to try that exercise out. I'm a big fan of trying to make things as simple as possible, and this is why for me the breath is such an amazing tool, because if you can remember just to take one breath, everything else comes in. So you don't have to think, oh, you know, shoulders back and relax the jaw, soft eyes, let go. We can do all that in one correct breath, or several breaths. So to take a nice long deep breath in to the back and side of your ribs, feel your body open and expand, and then as you let the breath go, just a soft ah. So that makes a difference. You know, you can, whatever breathing technique or system you want to use, just do your thing, it doesn't matter. For me, the most important thing is the ah, because when we say a soft ah, it gives us a soft feel, but it also means we remember to let go of the jaw and not to breathe out, blowing the breath out. You know, then we tense up our lips. So it's really just allowing and just letting the breath come out. Okay, so that's, for me, like I said, the key is the jaw. But I think a very important point to remember here is that it's not something we really have to learn to move with the horse. It's more about shedding of layers, letting go, stuff that we've picked up over our life. You know, there's of course the three levels we always have. There's the physical, the emotional and the mental. If we could go back to being a child, or you take a small child who's a healthy child without any big trauma and you put them on a horse, you don't need to tell them how to sit or how to do anything. They just do it, you know, naturally. So as adults, you know, we can overthink and get too busy in the mind thinking about stuff. So that can block our movement, especially when we're telling ourselves something negative. You know, when we're saying to ourselves, I can't sit to the trot. And that can block us, you know, so we have to make sure we keep updating the stories we tell ourselves. I'm learning to sit to the trot. Oh, I'm getting it a little bit, and not to be doing it saying I can't. And then, of course, on the emotional level, spiritual level, whatever you want to call it, it's really how you feel about that, you know, which is, of course is linked to what we think about it. So just to be very aware about that, how you're feeling. Is it pessimistic, optimistic? You know, how are you going at it? And then, of course, physically, as we get older, it can get more difficult. So I think it's important to have a feel how you move on the ground. If you've got stiffnesses in your hips, you know, I go regularly to a cranial osteopath just to keep everything aligned, you know, so physically, the more we're aligned and the body is, you know, your heart above your center above your ground on the horse. It's that position of mechanical advantage that we spoke about in the seat video. Then, of course, your body can freely flow and move together with the horse. So it's really, if we could just let go of everything and just allow our body to do what it can naturally do, we would just flow along with the horse. So, yeah, thank you for being with us today, and keep tuning into the light.